Turner West, special teams coordinator. Extremely happy to be here and be a part. You know, there's a proud tradition here of special teams, and it starts with the two kickers, now in the NFL, two of the best in the NFL, and Younghoe Koo and Tyler Bass. And we also had a long snapper formerly here, Ryan Langan, who was on a fall camp with the Chargers last year. So just a proud history of special teams. Congrats to Younghoe Koo on his new contract. Well deserved, and we're extremely happy for him. Kind of touching briefly on coming in and watching the film from last year. We got all 4 starters coming back. 3 of them are local guys. So we got Anthony Beck from Guyton. We got Britton Williams from Richmond Hill. All right, and we got Mark Langston from Savannah. And also Alex Rayner, who's from Kennesaw. So it's really important for us to keep guys home in Georgia. And that's what we've continued to do since Coach has been here.
Coach, I'm going to go ahead and jump on it. Anthony Beck, talk about that guy. Have you already kind of grown to love the Mohawk already?
Yeah, so I knew who he was the first time I saw him because of his awesome haircut. No, but Beck, just from being here and kind of spending time in Dallas, my 4 years in Dallas, and getting to be around those specialists up there, the Dan Baileys of the world, and those guys, and kind of seeing their approach, and now kind of seeing Anthony Beck and us getting to know each other and us kind of formulating our relationship. Beck is he definitely has the pro approach to it. He's an extension with me to the rest of the guys. He's kind of the player coach. I get on him all the time. He's the one, hey, you know, in the text messages, make sure you turn your grades in, make sure he's on it before I can even get to it. I mean, the guy's unbelievable, great leader. He's got a bright future ahead, whether it's continuing football or whatever he chooses to do. But he's an awesome guy to be around.
Coach, Alex and Britton both split a little time last year. When you evaluate those guys, do you like to just have one kicker, or how does that work?
So I told all of them when I got here. There's some other guys I didn't name, but to answer your question on those two, it's an open competition at anything right now. I don't really care about what happened last year. I don't care who did what last year. This is a what can you do for me now business, and that's kind of the approach I'm taking with all of them. So field goal and kickoff, to answer that question, if you can do both better than the other guy, you should do both. That's kind of how I've always been with it.
Yeah, first of all, Andrew Goldstein, WSAV. Could you just kind of touch on the differences between some of the kickers on the roster? I mean, is one of them more accurate? Is one of them a little more power? I mean, I think it's easy for fans to distinguish different types of quarterbacks or wide receivers. Maybe a little bit less so with kickers and punters. Like, what do you see as the differences between some of the guys?
Okay, so I'm going to answer this the best I can. I've only seen them kick live because of the NCAA rules, only a few times. I'll know more after spring ball. But the main thing is with the kickers, all right, op time, all right, their follow through, how much height they get on the ball, how much distance they have, do they have any move? It's really like a golfer, man. I would be a bad kicker because I have a terrible slice in golf, okay? But some of them hit it higher, some of them hit it further, and op time is a huge thing that we're going to focus on, and it's really who can kind of put it all together and kind of see who can be successful with that. I think I answered your question.
You were with Coach Brian Ellis back in 2011, so
I
you're
was.
already smiling. So he let out kind of a smirk when he thought about it. What were you guys like in 2011? You were a young coach and he was finishing up his playing career, is that right?
Young coach is a stretch. I was an unpaid intern that got the opportunity to help out around the building. But Brian, I mean, me and Brian have been friends for a long time. And I was 24 at the time. I think he was 22 or 23. So we were close in age. And just being able to like see him play at the high level that he did at UAB and how the guys just rally around him, I knew immediately that he was going to be a successful coach. And it's just really cool to kind of be able to circle back around and be able to work with him.
Any stories you can share with us?
None that I can think of off the top of my head.
That's a little cleaner than what he said.
Okay, that's good. Now you've got me nervous.
No, he said he couldn't share it. He had them, but he couldn't
Okay,
share them.
okay, that's good. That's good.
Coach, after the spring game, when you're looking back at spring practice, what would you consider a successful spring practice for the special teams unit?
Continuing to get better in all phases of them. Like I said, it's an open competition right now between the kickers. So being able to see those guys kind of grow and develop throughout these 15 practices, and you know, kind of getting all of our systems implemented. We're going to do punt every day. We're going to do field goal every day. We're going to do coverage stuff as that goes, and just kind of slowly progress into teaching them what we're going to do schematically. But if we can do all of that, continue to get better, and come out of spring feeling really, really good about our punt unit and feeling really, really good about our field goal unit, I think that's a success.
Coach, Nathan Dominance, by the way, from Savannah. So we've got a Savannah morning, so we do have those local connections. Did you have to explain Anthony Beck to anybody, and how do you do that?
He's a character. All right, he's a character. He reminds me of a former teammate of mine in college, quarterback. He's got the kind of moxie to him. He's got the confidence, leadership abilities. Can be a jokester at times. He's just awesome to be around. Great dude, and I'm very fortunate to be able to coach him.
And you
Mox-
got, oh, sorry.
Moxie is not often a word used with punters. How does
It's
he,
the quarterback end. It's the quarterback.
how much does that differentiate kind of former specialist? I mean, and what does that bring to a unit when you have a guy like that kind of leading it?
I think that exactly. I think when you play positions like, you know, quarterback, or, you know, some long snappers play linebacker, and, you know, these other roles on a unit or on a team that that you kind of have to be a natural leader to play those positions. And Beck's just a quarterback that's really good at punting. You know, I mean, he's got all the intangible qualities about him. So
Did he volunteer to be the 7th emergency quarterback like last year?
Beck's volunteered for a lot of things, but he's been shot down for a few of them with me right now.
Yeah.
We're just trying to get the ball caught and punt.
You've been asked a couple of Beck questions now. Just to kind of make it a little bit broader, have you found that kickers and punters have a higher share of eccentric types than other position groups, or, you know, is Beck just kind of breaking the mold in that?
That's a tough question. Because, and that's kind of the beauty of football, is like, none of us are the same. Like, it's the only sport, I think, where you got people from all different walks of life, all different cultures, personalities, and you're kind of drawn together for a common goal. I mean, shoot, there's 130 of us on a team. There's what, 15 on a basketball team, 30-something on a baseball team. I mean, this is a huge group of guys. And so to answer your question, I've been around some other position groups that have a little bit more characters than the specialists.
Coach, with the specialists, with the kickers, we've seen in the past guys that were first team all conference, a new coaching staff comes in, and they struggle and they go way down. What do you do from is a lot of it mental with these guys too?
So it is. I think what I try to do with them, and something that I was taught a long time ago, but don't dwell in the past, live in the present, and move on to the future. And I think if you keep that mindset, you kind of eliminate some of that kind of stuff in the past. And the other thing is, learn what your players are good at and figure out how you can continue to make them successful, and don't put them in situations, you know, that don't make them comfortable.